What is going on, my people? 299 back here with another video, and in today's video we're going to dive deep into one of the biggest topics in world football right now, and that is the signing of Viktor Gyökeres, the Swedish striker who's been wanted by so many clubs, ever since he's had two monstrous seasons at Sporting in Portugal. And at the time of this recording, it looks like he's about to sign for Arsenal. Now, I don't know if he will be signing for Arsenal when this video will be out, but it's not just about whether he'll sign for Arsenal, it's whether if he can impact the Premier League. Because I remember I made a video about Harry Kane on when he joined Bayern. Will he be able to transform the Bundesliga, for example? And I have that kind of same idea with Viktor Gyökeres. I think this guy, with what we've seen, I mean, I'm sorry, but his stats, if you look at it on like any social media app or any football stats app, whatever you look at, wherever you look at, it looks insane. You're always going to have these sort of players that are going to have one monstrous season and they're not going to do well in the second season come around. That hasn't happened with Viktor Gyökeres. If anything, he had an even better season in his second season here with Sporting. So if you look at his stats, I mean, his first season with Sporting, is just amazing. But before we dive deep into his stats and if he's going to transform both Arsenal or the Prem or whatever team he ends up joining, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, like the video as well. It helps a lot. All my social media links will be down in the description for you guys to check out. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so as I was mentioning, his first season, if you look at it, Sporting were in the Europa League, 9 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. The Portuguese Cup, 6 games, 6 goals, 2 assists. And then the Taça da Liga, probably butchered the hell out of that name, 2 games, 3 goals. And if you look at the league itself, 33 games, 29 goals, and 10 assists. That's the first season alone. And I'm going to dive deep into this other debate in a moment where people say, well, it's the Portuguese league, it's not the best league in the world, and that doesn't mean that his success will be replicated in a top 5 league, which I don't necessarily agree, because there's lots of examples of players doing well in Portugal that did well in the Prem. I don't know why there's an argument. Some people give Darwin Núñez or Taremi as an example, or I'm trying to think of other players, but those are like the guys that were kind of given out because they're not doing so well in their respective teams. But it's like, well, you also have other players like Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Neves, or these sort of players who did well in the Portuguese league. So I don't know why the argument always goes one way. It doesn't necessarily make any sort of sense. But anyways, in his second season, so this season that just passed, 52 games, 54 goals, and 12 assists. I mean, that number doesn't look real. Genuinely, I'm looking at the football stat right now. It genuinely looks like generated or something. That does not look real. That's like Lionel Messi type stat right there. I mean, again, all about it being the Portuguese league. He's just been incredible, right? 6 goals in 8 games in the Champions League, 39 goals in 33 games. And I know there's this argument of he scores a lot of penalties, which I tend to agree. Like, it kind of does diminish the goal tallies that he has by a little bit because it's a pen as well. Like, you could give that to any other player, and if he would score all those goals, then he'd also have the same amount of goals, if that kind of makes sense. But watching Gyökeres just play, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's had a crazy trajectory. I mean, this guy went from the Swedish league to Brighton. I don't think he's ever played in the Prem, technically. I think he played a few times in the FA Cup, in the EFL Cup and such. I don't think he actually ever did play in the Prem. I know he came out with the academy of Brighton and Hove Albion, so that's kind of sick to see. I know he went to the second division in Germany for a bit, and had a decent season, 7 goals, 4 assists with St. Pauli, and then at Brighton it didn't look too good for him. I also remember him because I think Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh, the Iranian player, was pictured in a picture with him, so that's how I remember Gyökeres at Brighton as well. Then I think he went to the Championship with Swansea, didn't have the best of seasons there. Then went to Coventry, also wasn't great until his last season at Coventry. Actually, his last 2 seasons at Coventry was actually pretty good, were a lot better, and that move from the Championship is what got him to the first division in Portugal, where he just went absolutely crazy. So this guy has had like a guess, quote-unquote remontada when it comes to like that sort of career. Like, I've never seen something like that from someone who went from the Swedish league to about to play for a Prem side to not being good enough, being sent in the championship, and then going to the Portuguese league, and then now is about to sign for another Prem side that will be competing for the title. Like, you don't see those sort of trajectories that often. So that's, I think, what makes his story much more impressive. It's like, don't give up on your career, right? This guy was going from not being good enough to play in the Prem to about to sign for one of the best teams in the Prem. So it's like, it's funny how football works sometimes. But I wish him the best of luck. I mean, even if you look at stats internationally, I mean, he's been smashing it in the Nations League. So like, there's just so much to say about this guy. He's a goal scoring machine, and it happens to these sort of players. There's a lot of players that they kind of find their prime at a later age, and that's how they become better and better. Gyökeres might be one of those players, and I keep taking Taremi as an example because I know him a lot. I mean, this guy, his prime was when he was older. With Porto, it was kind of the same thing. So, coming back to the argument of like, hey, this guy plays in the Portuguese league, that's why he's scoring so many goals. It's like, it's not fair to him because these are like absurd numbers here that we're looking at. Even with Pence, it's still absurd. I think he'll still do well no matter who he plays with, whether it's Arsenal or some other team, or not even necessarily in the Prem. It could be a team in the Bundesliga or the Serie A or whatever it is. I mean, the Prem will be the toughest league out of those leagues, if we're being honest. So it'll be interesting to see whether he'll change the Prem. Not only the Prem, but Arsenal have been begging for a number 9 for so many years after having my boy Kai Havertz up top, who I've always said is not a pure striker. I don't like to see him play as a striker because he isn't a striker. So now maybe they've got a proper number 9. And I've seen rumors, Arsenal fans saying Gyökeres might not even start those games. I don't really know what's going to happen. Is Havertz still going to be the main guy up top, which I don't think he should be. Whatever happens, I do think whatever team ends up getting Gyökeres, whether it's Arsenal or some other team, I think it's going to be a fantastic move. He is going to cost a lot, but I mean, with those stats, are you really surprised that he's worth a lot? So that's for Viktor Gyökeres with an amazing backstory. Is about to come to the Prem. Hopefully he'll tear it up for his sake, because it will look pretty weird if he ends up not doing well in the Prem after, that sort of phase in his career. It would look pretty bad, to be honest with you. Anyways, that's what I think about Viktor Gyökeres and his signing to Arsenal, or again, whatever team he ends up joining. If you guys are new to the channel, again, make sure to subscribe. It really does help the channel quite a lot. Like the video as well. It helps. All my social medias will be down in the description for you guys to check out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.